Okay, please welcome today. We have a very special guest with us, Mr. Maanendra Singh. He is the executive director for the Stalwart People Company, which is generally a recruitment company who are providing the recruitment services to the corporates. So today we have got opportunity to talk to him, and we can get into some knowledge about his specialization, how he's giving the service to the corporate, and how his expertise and how his team expertise will be helpful for the organization's growth. So welcome, Maanendra.
Thank you, Krishna, for having me and giving me this opportunity with Grupocast. I'm glad that I'm here, and thank you for the invitation. So yeah, though we are friends, but then yeah, this is a professional podcast.
Yes. Maanendra, tell me one thing: how your company helped to corporate house in the recruitment space?
How
you are helping corporates for the recruitment space?
So Krishna, it's a good question. So I will talk about my organization. So I'm the executive director of Stalwart People Company. So we are not a normal recruitment firm, which means that we do not do each and everything that is there in recruitment, like bulk hiring, fresher level hiring, campus hiring, lateral hiring, and and permanent hiring, contract hiring. There are various kinds of hiring and recruitment, and there are various classification of recruitment companies. So in terms of that, we are very specific to what we do in terms of helping our corporate clients. What we do is we only specialize into mid-level and senior level hiring. So which is so generally you're aware about that. There are not many leadership hirings in an organization. So we focus on mid-level hiring. So there are a bunch of hiring that we do in mid-level, and there are few hirings that we do as in leadership hiring. Leadership means how we define is mid-level. It can be from a designation perspective, or maybe in terms of CTC that is offered. So that's how we classify. So we help clients, corporate clients, wherein we help closing roles from CTC from 15 lakhs and above. So that falls into mid-level, and especially into CXO level like CEO, CXO, CTO, or maybe any senior executive role, which are generally confidential roles that are maybe 50 and 60 lakhs and above. So that's how we focus in terms of helping corporate clients, and there are various kind of process that we follow, and that are very stringent and strict that we have to do. And in terms of a recruitment process remains the same, considering any international search firm or executive search firm. We follow that, but there are definitely a huge differentiation that we have that we can talk about maybe later here.
So, Maanendra, tell me one thing. Which are the industry you are focusing on, and which kind of organization you will be happy to help them for the recruitment space for the mid-level and the senior level?
Okay. So we majorly focus on three, prime industries. First is pharmaceutical manufacturing, which consists of pharma, generic drug or special drug companies, and then biotechnology companies and medical device and instruments, and also diagnostic companies. We focus on these kind of organizations. So it varies from a very small company to a very large firm. So we cater to all of them as and when the need is there. And we also focus on FMCG, which is fast moving consumer goods, which consists of skincare, personal care, hair care, cosmetic, beauty, food companies, food processing, packaged food, unpackaged food, and home care, which is cleaning products. So we cater to that. And apart from that, software, IT, and internet, which consists of any SaaS product or software products or services, and internet companies like e-commerce, like from Blinkit to Myntra, to fashion industry, or maybe Nykaa, which is into beauty e-commerce. So we majorly focus on that. Yeah, in terms of industry that you were asking.
So, what is my understanding? You are covering broadly into the FMCG as well as the pharma as well as the software and IT
That's correct.
industry. So,
That's correct. Yeah.
tell me one thing: what are the major challenges you are facing to recruit any senior people, and what are the skill level you are looking at that particular candidate, and how that particular candidate will be meet the expectation of your client? How you manage this, and how you do a analysis of it to execute this position, this kind of position for your
Okay,
organization.
thank you for asking this question. It's a very good question. And my answer will be long, so please have patience. Uh, okay, so recruitment, I'll tell you, as an industry, has been evolving. Like few years back, there were not many tools and sources, or maybe AI was not there, and there was not so much of technology was there. So uh, we had to kind of manage between whatever resources that we have, like calling directly people on landline, finding numbers and all that, and doing the mapping. So it used to be very difficult. Now, because of LinkedIn and Naukri software database, and there are various AI tools also, like Lucia and other Snow, and a lot of automation tools. These are complementary factors. Of course, it helps in recruitment industry in terms of finding people. So there's a huge database, and everybody has access to. So there are a lot of companies like us. So everybody has access to these expensive tools. LinkedIn is expensive, Naukri is expensive, and there are various AI tools that are expensive. So most of the companies, from corporate side or from the consulting side, everyone is using these tools in terms of database. So everybody has same talent pool. The difference becomes like how you use that database. That depends on your skill set and experience. If you have that experience into the industry and into recruitment and HR, you know how to screen the data. So and that is the differentiation comes in. And this helps in finding people. You have a huge database. Then next stage becomes mapping people, assessing them, validating them according to the client's need and requirements. And then then the further stage of presenting those profiles to the client, and then interview process. There's a long process of interview, sometimes 8 or 9 rounds of interviews. That is very challenging. And the real problem comes after that. When we have to face the human factor, whether we are not able to recognize any red flags, because to identify red flags, you have to talk to people in length. Otherwise you will ignore red flags, and at the end, people don't join at the joining date, or they stop receiving your calls. They ghost you completely. This is one of the major challenges that we face. Earlier it used to be in the smaller roles, junior roles, but now these days it happens at the senior level also. It happens because of various reasons, because candidate might have multiple offers, and they when they look for a change, they apply everywhere. So they might accept your client company's offer, and they also accept other companies' offer. So they compare, and then they choose one of that. So the choice is huge these days from the candidate side also, and same happens from the company side. So sometimes company before some when they have multiple talent, multiple CVs that we want to finalize. They just choose what they they feel that they are very close to in terms of skill set and experience. Sometimes they reject all of that. And the other challenge is that notice period becomes a huge challenge. Sometimes 90 days is a is a is a uh, is a policy that is, I think, notice period policy of 90 days is very difficult to manage in recruitment. because it's a long 90 days, like 3 months. Even candidate can find a different job, and company can also find another candidate. So there's no commonality in when companies cannot come to a ground, or company and candidate, they have to merge, right? They have to. It's like a marriage. So it becomes a huge challenge. Notice period, and candidates goes absconding on the joining date because they have multiple offers, and sometimes counter offer is also a big challenge. When candidate is not very serious about job change, they just apply everywhere, and then they just use the offer from other company to negotiate internally to get the better offer. So ultimately it comes across that they never wanted to give. They were just using offer letters to negotiate internally, and these are human challenges, sometimes very difficult to find out. So the only way is to just talk to people at length, so that you can understand what's going in their mind and understand the red flag, and you can create your pipeline further. So that is the one of the reasons. And the other challenge is that sometimes position goes on hold when everything is on fire. Client wants CVs and candidates and everything is happening on fire, like on urgency, and suddenly there's a business change, a plan of change in the organization, and suddenly that position goes on hold. And by that time, you have already invested a couple of months in that position. So these are, I think, a few major challenges that we face, and it's not going to change. What I feel, it's going to increase. These AI tools will not help, finding a solution in these problems. AI tools can help in only, uh, finding see more CVs, like it is, or maybe in the process of interview or screening CVs and all that. Beyond that, AI doesn't play any role in recruitment at all. Yeah, so we should not be scared of AI, but yeah, these are the challenges that we face from candidate and client side both. And yeah,
Okay.
these are,
Okay. So tell me one thing. I saw that lots of clients are giving one position to multiple recruitment companies. And what your thought process on this? The company should be giving one position to multiple consultants or multiple recruitment companies, or they should stick with one recruitment company who can help them for the quick fill of that position. What is your thought process on that?
okay, so again, good question. See, this is a normal practice, which you just asked, that a company, when they find a vendor, they give position to multiple companies, and that's not good in a way from the consulting side, because there's no 100% commitment. Then when you know that the company has already given that same position to multiple consultants or vendors, you will not be very serious on closing that position. You will just you will put your 60% effort, and
Yes.
that's why I think companies also face a lot of problems. Sometimes position goes vacant for maybe 6 months, 1 year, because they are also not serious. When they can exclusively give a mandate to a consultant, maybe let's say for 1 month, at least they should give exclusivity. What I feel, exclusivity is very important to have the seriousness from both sides. If there is an exclusivity clause, then consultant will also be very serious in following all the process, and stick to the company. They will 100% focus on that particular position. And client company will also be serious that they have not given any that position to anyone. So there is a you both on the same page. Then I think things can be worked out, and closure happens very fast. But when you give positions to multiple companies, and everybody is playing on hit and try, so that is not a very good method in terms of recruitment. It doesn't mean that hit and trial doesn't work. It might work, it might not work, but it's not a very focused strategy from both ends. It doesn't give best results. So exclusivity is very important. Exclusivity, at least for a time frame, maybe 15 days or 1 month, should be there, and it should be the best practice that should be followed, which is not there, but it should be followed.
Okay, great. So, tell me, what are the major 3 points of your stalwart company, people company, where the organization will be consider you rather than your any competition company?
Okay, so
What do you think? What
yeah,
is the USP of your organization?
USP, unique selling proposition. Okay, so SPC, which is Stalwart People Company. See, first of all, we are a very professionally driven organization. We have a team of very research, people in terms of our teams. They come from industry background, industry from the corporate and industry from the consulting side. So the combination is very good. So in terms of skill set and experience, our team is very well equipped to handle each and every position. That is one differentiation factor. And second is we don't do each and everything. We focus on few things, but then whatever we do it with 100% focus. So when we pick up a position, especially into mid-level and senior level, we put 100% focus on that. We are not doing multiple positions at the same time for a time frame. We focus on, we give complete focus to those positions. So the results comes. So because of that, our closure rate is 90+%. That is one factor, and we do. Yeah.
Okay.
So also apart from that, we do not focus on every function. So we majorly focus on sales, marketing, and IT or technical positions, and R&D, and a few corporate functions also. We don't do each and everything. So whatever you want to pick up in terms of function, we only pick up where we have exposure and experience. And in terms of industry, we stick to our three industries, which is FMCG, Pharma, and IT and Internet. Apart from that, we don't do because we do not have that bandwidth and experience. So because of that, we are able to give better results, and that's how we are different. And most importantly, we follow a typical and a process which is followed by any international search from like Korn Ferry or any hybrid struggles and all that. We follow a 25-step process from client brief to mapping to finding candidates to validating, assessing, then interviews, helping candidates in interview, helping clients in interviews, and then helping client and candidates in offer management, and after the offer, helping from both sides in resignation process, and then preparing candidate and understanding red flags. From client brief to the closure when the candidate joins, even after that. So this is a process which consists of 25 steps, and we never miss that step, and we are very strict and stringent on that, and that is one of the major differentiation factor, and we are good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So I would like to know 1 to 2 case studies how you can help organization to add profit and growth in organization. It's either from pharma or FMCG or IT. If you would like to share with us for this.
Okay, I can give you an example, but I'll not mention the name of the company. Yeah, because that is confidential. We closed a position. I'll give you international example, international position that was very challenging, but we were able to close. And there was a position of a CHRO of a very large liquor brand in Myanmar. So and they wanted an Indian person to be shifted there, right? But he should have visited Myanmar or Burma, understand the language and the culture at least. So it was a very difficult, a challenging search for us, because we were sitting in India and we had to find someone from India who has been to Myanmar and who has stayed in Myanmar for some time. So and that position was open for with this client for at least for 1.5 years, and they worked with international search firm like Korn Ferry, and they were not happy with them. Korn Ferry and one more organization, So we picked up that position. Somehow, luckily, we reached out to them, and they were very fed up that they met the candidates, but somehow it was not able to, it didn't work out well. And there was a couple of cases where they offered the candidate, but then candidate didn't join. That was also there. So we picked up that position, and then ultimately the mapping became very difficult because this organization almost kind of reached out to possible candidates already, because it was almost 1.5 years. So they scanned all entire market. So what we did is that we asked the candidate that, can you provide some list of names which they met? At least we can avoid a duplication process. So we got those names, and this client was very supportive in that. Some of the clients also never. Sometimes they don't share the list. They shared the list with us, so that became little easy for us to at least avoid those candidates, those who have been interviewed or maybe rejected or something like that. Then we started our search and sourcing from various sources. We at least spoke to 200 people, and then it took us at least 2-3 months, and finding a candidate and interview process. Out of those 200 candidates, we came to 15 candidates, and then out of 15 we screened about 8 candidates, which we presented to them, 8 candidates, and they liked 3 of them, and they offered one of the candidate, and that person joined. But then in the entire process, in terms of resignation to offer negotiation, it was also challenging because this person was very old in the system. Maybe about 15 plus years he stayed in the system. He wanted to leave, but then he was very afraid to leave the management. How he will disclose that he is planning to leave, because it was a very long time for him. So we prepared him, and it took us some strategies in that. And so that way we were able to close a very difficult position for an international candidate. So we are proud of that, and client also appreciated our effort in that, and it was a big billing.
Oh, great!
A big billing also.
I think it's a very interesting story to be successful in the recruitment.
Yeah.
So, what is my understanding? You are also focusing international positions as well as the domestic positions.
Yeah. So we used to do international position a lot, but now after COVID, we have come to the point that we only focus on domestic. Because of the volatile market internationally. We tried some international positions. We're sitting here in India, but then we were not able to close because of various reasons. Sometimes client close a position. Sometimes there's a different situation, war situation there. Because there was a client called. I'll give you an example with the client name, Alma Lasers. It was a medical device company, and it was based in Israel. And we were working on this position for some time, and we were able to close almost towards the closure. But suddenly this, happened. The war situation happened. Everything went on for good, and it never resumed. So there were some cases like that. Not like that everywhere. There's a war situation, but then sometimes a situation in terms of recession, or maybe something else, some economic reasons. Sometimes internal reasons, it becomes difficult in that situation to close international. So we are not doing international position right now. So we are focusing only on pan-India domestic.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So lots of clients generally they have their common complaint to the recruitment companies. They never give the feedback, or they never call back once they got the position to work upon. If they don't find out the candidate, or they don't want to execute that particular position, they never call back to the companies. This is generally the feedback from the company side. So how your organization is helping on the client on this point?
You're saying that client is not giving the feedback, right?
Yeah. Not client. They give the job order to the recruitment companies, but the recruitment companies never give them a call. Whatever happening, even though want to send the profile to the company or not, they don't want to in touch with the client for the long time. So they feel that key recruitment companies are generally like this. They are not giving the call back. We have to follow up with them, and how if the recruitment company doesn't want to work on that particular position, even if though also they are not giving the call back, get call from the recruitment companies.
See, these days this has become a practice, but this situation comes in when there is no exclusivity. You know, when there is exclusivity, I think we should stick to any recruitment company. They should stick to exclusivity. They should fight for exclusivity, because sometimes when we are negotiating a contract, we just negotiate on the fee, or maybe the payment clause, or replacement clause, or there are few important clause. We completely must miss out on exclusivity. When there's no exclusivity, these things happen. And but then how to fight it, I think it depends on how professional you are. If you're very professional, you will definitely you will not miss out any step. You will not cut out, you will not take a short route to to finding an candidate, or the entire process of recruitment. So I think it depends on every organization, but sticking to the process is very important to avoid these situations. And fighting for exclusivity in the contract becomes very important, because when the client is serious and consulting company is serious, they work like an extended team, not just like an external partner. So which they don't care whether they work for them or not. When there is exclusivity, they are both together on the same mission, and same they are on the same objective and same focus. So these things can be avoided if we stick to the exclusivity thing. And also it depends on every organization. One should be more professional, and they should not skip any step.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I feel.
And let me know what kind of recruitment fees you are charging. That you are very comfortable with the retainer one or contingent one. How your firm is helping organization to the fee structures.
Yeah. So this is a contract question you're asking, but then yes. Okay, I'll disclose few things in the contract that we do. So there are two kinds of contracts and agreements. One is retainer model, and another is contingent model. So retainer model is generally followed by mostly any international search firms. They work on retained searches. Retained search means there is an portion of amount which is paid in advance. Like so, it's one third, one third, one third. The entire payment is divided into three parts. One third you get at the beginning of starting a search. So there is a surety that the money will come in when you close a position.
So you're talking about in the retainer, the exclusivity will be confirmed.
Yeah, exclusivity will be confirmed, and because client has given you some part of the payment, you both work like a team, right? And there's seriousness from both sides. And you will, and the second payment, one third you get in advance, and then another one third you get at the offer stage, and one third when the candidate joins the company. So it is a retainer model, which is a very good, and everybody dreams for it. We also work on retainer model, but not too much, because we have another model. Sometimes we don't want to lose a client. So and it depends on what they need. Sometimes it is a very exclusive and very confidential position. You should ask for a retainer model. And when a client is old for you, you have been working with this client for a very long time, you can definitely negotiate for any particular position for a retainer model, and they will agree because they like your work. You have proved yourself, so retainer becomes easy in that sense. And the other model, which is very common in any executive search firm like us, which is a success fee model, which is there is no advance payment. Entire effort is yours, till the candidate joins. So you get the payment when candidate joins. So suppose you start a position from today. Generally, a position will be closed in 3 months. Considering all the process. And when the candidate joins after resigning and everything, notice period happens. When candidate joins, you raise the bill. on the date of the joining, and within 30 days or 45 days, you get your payment, full payment in one go in the contingent model. This is a little risky, uh, but then
Okay.
companies and corporate companies force everybody to go on a contingent model these days. So things have changed. Not every organization is going for retainer search. Most of them, they want to reduce their risk. They want to, they want you to take all the risk. So that's why contingent model is generally the trend in the market right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. I think we had a very good discussion on the recruitment front and how your organization, Stalwart People Company, helped organization to be
Yeah.
add profit and growth in their organization as a term of recruitments.
Yeah.
And it was very nice discussion with you. And okay, thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for joining with me.
Krishna. I think you asked really good questions, and I hope I was able to answer all of that. I want to add one thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to just add one
Yes.
thing. There's a lot of question in terms of how recruitment industry will, the future of recruitment industry considering AI. So I
Okay.
just want to say that AI, we should not be scared of AI, but we should adapt AI because it's going to complement us and it's going to reduce few of the processes for us. But then human factor cannot be removed from recruitment at all. The So suppose like a robot or a machine cannot function or complete or the entire process of recruitment, because in recruitment there's a lot of human factor. You have to be involved, you have to understand people in terms of attitude, behavior, maturity, cultural fitment and all that, and that AI cannot do. I think it can never do. AI can
Okay.
only minimize manual tasks, which are like manual tasks, like, which is basically clerical work sometimes, and it can reduce few steps, but it cannot replace recruitment at all. So we should not be scared, and we should, I think, be ready to learn, AI tools. I think that will help.
Nice. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
thank you, Krishna, and it was lovely talking. Bye bye. Thank you.